Have you ever woken up, looked at the woman lying next to you and wondered, when did the distance between us get so wide? You still love her, you still care, but somehow the warmth, the laughter, the passion, it feels like a memory. And here's the most painful part. You didn't see it coming. You thought you were doing everything right. You provided. You stayed loyal. You believed that after decades together, love would take care of itself. But what if I told you that 90% of men over 50 are silently, unknowingly ruining their relationships? Not because they're bad men, but because of quiet, everyday mistakes that slowly, invisibly push her heart away. In this video, we're going to uncover those hidden mistakes, the ones no one warned you about. And more importantly, I'll show you how to stop the damage before it's too late. Stay with me, because what you're about to discover could change the way she looks at you, starting tonight. Let's be honest. Most men over 50 never set out to harm their relationship. In fact, they believe they're doing everything right. They've built a life together. They've provided stability, security, a home. They've stayed loyal through thick and thin. And somewhere deep down, they start to believe that love, once earned, will simply last forever, like a foundation that never cracks. But here's where the silent destruction begins. Love isn't a trophy you win once and display on the shelf. It's not a one-time prize. It's a living, breathing connection that needs care every single day. And the truth is, most men stop nurturing it without realizing it. They stop doing the little things that once made her feel truly special. The way they looked at her when she walked into the room like she was the only person that mattered. The way they reached for her hand during a quiet moment just to feel close. The way they truly listened when she spoke, hanging on her words, showing her that what she felt and thought mattered deeply. Over time, these small gestures fade, not out of malice, not because they stopped loving her, but because life gets busy. Work demands attention, health worries creep in, responsibilities pile up, routines become comfortable, and those quiet moments of connection slowly slip away. And before you know it, the emotional bridge between you and her starts to crack. She begins to feel invisible, not because you stopped loving her, but because you stopped showing it in the ways that matter most to her heart. And here's the hardest truth. Women don't drift away overnight. It happens slowly, silently. One forgotten compliment, one missed opportunity to listen, one too many nights where she feels like a roommate, not a partner. The saddest part? Most men don't notice until the damage is done. But knowing this is powerful. In the next part, we'll look at the first silent killer of intimacy and how to recognize the signs before it's too late. Because knowing is the first step to changing everything.
Let me tell you about Jim. Jim is 62. He's been married to Karen for over 30 years. From the outside, they look like the perfect couple. 2 grown kids with families of their own, a comfortable home in a quiet neighborhood, vacations to places they'd always dreamed of visiting, holiday dinners filled with laughter, surrounded by family. Jim worked hard his whole life to give his wife the security and comfort he believed she deserved. And in his mind he thought, we've made it, we're solid, we've built a good life together, we're set. But one night, Jim found himself lying awake, staring at the ceiling. The house was quiet. Karen was right there beside him, asleep. And yet, Jim felt alone. The laughter they used to share, the easy conversations that flowed late into the night, the playful spark in her eyes, they were all gone. And for the first time, it hit him. They hadn't really talked, really connected in months, maybe longer. What happened? Here's what. Jim, like so many men over 50, had unknowingly put their love on autopilot. In the early years, Jim did all the small things that made Karen feel special. He noticed when she did something different with her hair. He'd reach for her hand at the dinner table without thinking. He'd surprise her with small, thoughtful gestures, a handwritten note tucked into her purse, her favorite snack waiting for her after a long day, a gentle kiss on her cheek just because he could. But as life got busier, with work, with responsibilities, with the comfort of routine, those small gestures began to fade. Not because Jim stopped loving her, he loved her deeply, but because he believed their love was strong enough to take care of itself. He assumed that she knew how much he cared, even if he wasn't showing it every day. And here's the part so many men miss. Women don't stop loving overnight, but they do stop feeling seen. They stop feeling heard, and slowly they stop feeling cherished. For Karen, it wasn't about the house or the vacations or even the years they had built together. It was about those tiny moments, the quiet daily signals that whispered, "You still matter to me." When a woman stops feeling special, she begins to pull away emotionally. And as that emotional gap widens, physical intimacy fades. Not out of anger, not to punish, but because her heart no longer feels safe, no longer feels truly desired. Jim's story isn't rare. It happens silently in so many relationships. But here's the hope. It can be reversed if you recognize it in time. In the next section, we'll uncover the second silent killer of intimacy, emotional neglect, and why simply providing isn't the same as truly being there.
Let's talk about something many men over 50 don't realize until it's almost too late: emotional neglect. You see, most of us grew up believing that being a good husband means being a good provider. We're taught to put a roof over her head, food on the table, to protect and provide. And yes, those things matter. They show responsibility, care, and commitment. But for a woman, especially a woman over 50 who's walked through life's ups and downs with you, what matters even more is feeling emotionally seen, heard, and valued. I want to share with you the story of Frank. Frank was 64 when I met him, married to Linda for 35 years. From the outside, they seemed like they had it all: a beautiful home, no debt, 2 children grown and thriving. Frank had worked hard all his life, built security, made sure Linda never had to worry about bills or a roof over her head. But inside that home, behind the smiles at family dinners, there was distance. Frank came to me one day, heartbroken. He said, "I don't understand. I've given her everything. I've worked so hard for us. We're comfortable. We're safe. What more could she want?" And that's when I gently helped him see what he hadn't realized. Linda didn't need more things. She didn't want a bigger house or another vacation. She wanted him. She wanted to feel that Frank still truly saw her, the woman he fell in love with all those years ago. For years, Frank had focused so much on being a good provider that he'd stopped being a true partner. The small, meaningful questions had faded. How are you really feeling? What's been on your mind today? The simple act of listening without interrupting or solving, just being present, had disappeared. But here's the beautiful part. When Frank finally saw this, he changed. Not overnight, but with small, consistent steps. After dinner, he'd sit down, look Linda in the eyes, and ask her about her day, not out of habit, but because he truly wanted to know. He started holding her hand again in quiet moments. He listened, really listened to her thoughts, her hopes, even her fears. And slowly,
Linda softened. The walls came down. The warmth returned. Emotional neglect isn't about being a bad man. It's about forgetting that women, especially as they age, crave connection more than anything money can buy. And in the next section, we'll explore the third silent killer, the kind of touch that makes or breaks intimacy after 50.
There's another silent killer that slowly chips away at intimacy after 50, and most men don't even see it. It's the kind of physical touch that feels transactional, the kind that only shows up when there's an expectation attached. You see, women, especially as they get older, become even more sensitive to why you're reaching for them. When a man only touches his partner when he hopes it will lead to sex, she feels it. And over time, that kind of touch doesn't make her feel desired. It makes her feel used. But here's what most men don't realize. Women crave touch, but not just any touch. They crave touch that says, I see you, I cherish you, I'm here with you. Touch that asks for nothing in return. Let me share the story of Robert, 61. Robert came to me confused. She used to love being close to me. Now she pulls away. I don't understand. When I asked him when he last hugged his wife without wanting more, he paused. He couldn't remember. So I gave him a simple challenge. For the next week, touch her. Hold her hand, kiss her forehead, rub her shoulders, without any expectation of where it might lead. Just to show love, just to make her feel safe. The result? His wife softened. She leaned into him again, because now his touch felt safe. It felt like home. The truth is, when a woman feels adored in the small, expectation-free moments, she naturally opens herself in the bigger ones. If your touch tells her, I cherish you, no strings attached, she'll crave your closeness in ways you may have forgotten were possible. Up next, let's talk about the 3 simple habits that can bring that closeness back, starting today. The good news is this: no matter how much distance has grown between you and the woman you love, it's not too late, and you don't need grand gestures or dramatic changes. What truly matters are small, daily habits that quietly rebuild emotional and physical closeness. Let's break down 3 simple but powerful habits you can start today. 1. Intentional words. Most men underestimate the power of words. But for a woman, words are windows into your heart. Instead of the usual, you look nice, try, I love how your smile lights up the room. Instead of, thanks for dinner, try, I appreciate the love you put into this. It makes me feel cared for. These intentional words make her feel seen, valued, and cherished. And when she feels emotionally safe, physical intimacy flows naturally. 2. Touch without expectation. We talked about this already, but it's worth repeating. A gentle touch on her back as you pass by, a soft kiss on the forehead, holding her hand while watching TV. These small, expectation-free touches whisper, I desire you, not just for what you give, but for who you are. The more she feels adored without pressure, the more she'll want to be close to you. 3. Daily presence. It's not about grand dates or expensive gifts. It's about the little moments where you show up, checking in when she seems tired, remembering something she mentioned last week, refilling her coffee before she asks. These small acts say, I notice you, I'm with you. And when her emotional love account fills up, she naturally wants to give back in every way, including intimately. In the final part, we'll tie it all together, and I'll share one last truth that could transform your relationship.
Here's the truth I hope you carry with you after watching this. You don't need to be the perfect man. You don't need to have all the answers, look younger, or be wealthier. What truly matters, the only thing that truly keeps love alive, is how you make her feel when she's with you. Safe, seen, cherished. The strongest relationships aren't built on grand gestures or flawless romance. They're built on quiet moments of connection, on the daily choices to listen, to notice, to care. When you make her feel emotionally safe, she will naturally want to be close to you, not out of duty, but out of genuine longing. So tonight, before the day slips away, do one small thing. Look her in the eyes and really listen. Hold her hand without saying a word. Tell her something you admire about her, not because you should, but because it's true. Watch how her heart softens. And if this video spoke to you, I invite you to share it with a friend, a brother, a father, a man who might need this reminder too. Drop a comment below. What's one small thing you'll do today to bring her closer? I read every response, and your thoughts matter. If you found value here, please like and subscribe. Together, we can help more men rediscover what makes love last. Because it's never too late to become the man she feels safe and loved beside.